welcome in this video. You've probably encountered the problem of doing manual translations for your Shopify's localized markets, meaning that if you put the content up in German, you'll need to translate it to Italian, to French, to Spanish, etc. Or you aren't even bothering with it because it's too much work. This is a problem that we have encountered and with a client of ours that we have tried to automate, and it succeeded. The last couple of weeks we have been talking a lot about Shopify translation automation, and what I have here is the current and the best form of the Shopify translation automation that there is out there right now. This is not a paid Shopify app that you need to use, even though there are some good Shopify apps like Translify, but the cost for this is for 500 credits you're paying 25 cents. Don't pay me on that. That's just way too much. So what we have built in here is a full N8N automation that does translations for 0.00059 cents. In the first node, we have the schedule trigger. You can turn this into a manual trigger. Then we're going to get the rows in the sheet. The rows that we want to get is the Shopify export that you can get by exporting your translations. If you head over to settings, languages and export, you can export it in here. Then there's an if statement. If the JSON translated content, that's this one, this row here, is empty, and the locale is equal to IT, Italian, and the default content is not empty because it can't translate anything that isn't available on the website, then it can start the translation process. It heads over into the first AI agent. This is the paid agent that's attached with the Open Router model. If you want to know how to hook up your Open Router model to the N8N installation that you have, head over to nibla.com, and on the blog you can see how to connect Open Router to N8N. It's very important to have the right system message and user prompt. This was one of the most time-taking task of this whole workflow. So what's very important is you need to share the field that it needs to translate in the default content JSON data and the field, so it knows if it's a title, it's a handle, it's a body HTML. Then we're going to head right over into the system message. Because it's a bit slow, I've written down the system messages in a docs document. So you are an SEO translator working for Italian paint by number store named URL. Your role is to translate the German default content into keyword optimized Italian output. Follow the following steps to translate the German default content into Italian keyword. So this is something that you need to take time for and you need to rewrite for yourself. What's very important is that you have these hashtags, these are headings, so you can have a role, instructions, rules, additional context. Here you can see the HTTP _request 3. It's very important that you keep this naming convention the same as the tools that you're calling in here, because don't use spaces, use the underscore, so that the AI agent knows what tools to call for the right translations. Furthermore, I gave him some specific rules for this translation that you can just copy from here, or you can head over to nibla.com and copy the whole workflow. I attached a Google Sheet with the Italian keywords that I've extracted through Ahrefs in here. Alright, so the instructions. Select one Italian keyword from the Italian keywords tool that best matches the provided default content. So what happens is it selects one keyword from the keywords that we've shared with it. And instead of the Shopify Translate and Adapt, that it targets keywords that are relevant but not that relevant, as you can see 2 on search volume, it will target the better keywords you share with him with a much higher volume and the same low keyword difficulty that gives you a much better keyword match and a much better chance to rank on the keywords that you want to rank for. By following these steps, you can accurately find valid keywords based on the default content. This is a very important phrase that you add here because you need to give it some extra feedback to the agent so it understands much better what it needs to do. If you don't know how to hook up your sheet to Google Sheets, to your Google Sheet to a N8N self-hosted, I once again recommend you to go to nibla.com, head over to YouTube, and here you can see how to set up Google API credentials for N8N. After that, we're going to have in the first agent that we have here, we're going to hook up the sitemaps. This is just a simple GET request. And sometimes when an error happens, what you can do is you can have go to settings right here. Workflow, let me add the error workflow. If you don't know how to add an error workflow, you can just look again on nibla.com. And here it will be explained to you what the error workflow does and how you can set this up so you get an email whenever something goes wrong. To demonstrate this process, I'm going to turn on the automation again. Let me execute the workflow and let me just wait for a second. As you can see, it has translated the right word in here. But this isn't that impressive. Everyone can translate the word bears to another language through a sheet. The impressive part is whenever you have rows with HTML, and you have white space, because this is a website that is imported from WordPress, switched to Shopify, and is now fully SEO optimized on Shopify. And having the right internal linking, because here, as you can see, this is still the WooCommerce permalink structure, because Shopify has /products with an S. Let me show you what it does right now. It indeed does take a little while, but if you want quality, it will take time. And here it is, the right translation with the right matched internal links to the right product in your preferred language. So the last and final tip I'm going to give you is add a check row. This isn't in the Shopify CSV standardized, even as a row number. You need to add these two to have the workflow working. So it checks if this input is matching Italian. And if it's Italian, it outputs Italian. If it's not Italian, it outputs not Italian. So whenever you're done with the translations, and you need to keep in mind, of course, this is a AI bot, and AI still makes mistakes, unfortunately. Then you just filter this on this and not Italian. And boom, you'll see here all not Italian translations. I can instantly see, yeah, of course, this is not Italian because this is a name. And in here you'll see, alright, so this is German. I can instantly see this is the German language. So these will be the small manual things. But in a sheet from 60,000 rows, I'll be glad and happy to translate 1, 2, or even 100 rows. If you have any questions about implementing this sheet into your Shopify store, or if you have any SEO related questions for Shopify, WooCommerce, or any other platform, leave a comment down below. Thank you for watching. Have a wonderful day, evening, or night, wherever you are, and I talk to you soon. Bye for now.